All right, guys, here we go. UFC Flyweight top contender, Alex Perez. How you doing, my man?
Not too bad, man. Just hanging out right before training, so not too much going
Right,
on.
right. Talking about training, man. Big fight coming up, UFC 255. Brandon Moreno. How amped are you to probably, I would assume, a number one contendership fight?
Yeah, I'm excited. I get excited every fight. You know what I mean? It's a new challenge.
Right.
This is what I train to do. I don't get paid to sit on the couch. So that many times. So whether it's Moreno, Askar, moving up to 35s, it doesn't matter. I get paid to fight. So I'm just happy that I got the opportunity coming up, and can't wait to show my skills.
Absolutely. Man, you threw out a lot there. Askar in front of you, but I would assume you two guys have been more active, especially yourself. I loved how you did fight. This is a pandemic, a crazy 2020 year. Fought in January, fought in June. Now you're fighting in November. It's a nice little clean every 5-6 months. To me, no one else is in front of you. Winner of this fights Davis and Figueiredo, right? Like this has got to be it.
I think so. You know what I mean? Like my job isn't to match make, so I just kind of just go through it. You know, if they say that we're next. If not, then I just gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta fight everybody eventually. So whether it's for the title next or I gotta fight someone else to get there, I will get to my goal. You know, obviously that's the title shot, but I'm just kind of one fight at a time.
When Figueiredo won the title, to me, you've been on the podcast before. I've talked to a lot of flyweights, personally, to be honest with you guys. I thought that was great for the division. It kind of brought a killer, brought a champion, it brought someone, a lot of eyes, a lot of blood was talking about it. Did you think that way as well? Do you think Figueiredo was good for the division?
I think anybody would have been good for the division. I mean, there's storylines behind everybody. Like if Joe would have won, they could have done the storyline between me and him in the rematch. You could done, okay, Moreno and Benavidez. He was his coach in the Ultimate Fighter. You know, there's so many different ways to go. Such for Joe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time too, it's a new body, a new guy, new face. So, I mean, it's kind of like hit or miss. Anybody in the UFC can be a star. It just depends how much they push you or how much you push yourself. You know what I mean?
Right. Talking about that, how about Chito Vera? Someone I saw a couple times on social media a couple weeks ago. It's the Vera show. We're all living in it right now. I love that too. I'm a big Masvidal guy. 2 years ago to now, totally different. And I love what you said, that it's the fight game, especially in UFC. 6 months or a year is a huge thing. Anyone can be the face of the brand right now. What do you think about Chito Vera?
Good, man. I was happy. He's my main training partner, this guy. I mean, we train together. We lift weights together. We run together. He's in my corner. I fly out to his fights. So we're really close friends. So to get a big win like that was huge. You know, I know people are like talking, oh, like he hurt himself. Like, nah, man. Like, you don't understand. Like, everybody's making excuses for O'Malley. I think O'Malley messed up by showing that video of him dancing a couple days later that he's fine. I was like, okay, then why'd you have to get carted off? You know what I mean?
Right.
It just, you know what I mean? It's just sore loser. I'm not saying I'm a good loser either. I'm a big baby when I lose, but I kind of keep more to myself. I don't post things. I don't say anything. Kind of keep my mouth shut and move on to the next.
100%, man. I was a little annoyed with that as well. You step in foot in the cage, you win or you lose. There's really no excuses. I literally just talked to a couple guys. Jamie Pickett, when he fought Puna Soriano, had a tore hamstring. No one knew that. No one tells. No one's 100% in there. And then when you get in there, it's a fight. Anything can happen. You know what I mean? Vera with leg kicks and all. I just like that. And Vero got enough shine. I'm so happy for him. And his next fight's going to be humongous. But it was a little like, come on, like there's no reason to take another man's shine, right? Like I just didn't like that angle to it.
Yeah, I just feel like he doesn't know how to deal with failure. You know, he's been on the street, but I mean, he hasn't fought anybody really great. I mean, he fought Teco, but Teco, if you look at the fight, Teco got hit with that punch right on the shoulder. I think he was like defeated before he went in there. I mean, his biggest fight was Terrion Ware, and Terrion Ware was taking it to him, you know. Terrion Ware was kind of gassed out, but I mean, that was his biggest fight. And Terrion's good, you know. But other than that, I really don't see anybody that he's fought that's that, skilled.
No, I agree with you. It's one of those things. He's he's a big name. He can communicate, which is great. He can talk, and the hair and all that. And I get that angle as well. But at the end of the day, wins and wins. UFC. If you go on a 3-4 fight losing streak, it don't matter how good you can talk. It's the fight game first and foremost. But talking about you, man, 11 out of 12. I love your trajectory right now in the division and just in the fight game as well. What little wrinkle have you been adding to the game lately? That's 11 out of 12. That's hard to do in the fight game.
Honestly, just getting better every day. I'm consistent in the gym. I'm trying to get better at every aspect, whether it's jiu-jitsu, my wrestling, my stand-up. I'm literally consistently in the gym. I don't take time off really. I don't miss trainings, and I ask for help.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. Some people are too prideful to ask for help, and I'm total opposite. I'm like, hey man, I need help with this, or hey man, I keep getting caught with this.
Right.
And I get beat up by guys every day that people have never heard of, and that makes me better. And I ask for help. I ask what they're doing against me, what I can do better, and I think that's a big key.
That's real talk. That is. One thing I want to throw your way, I don't know if you saw it or heard of it. We've been doing some top 5 videos, and probably around, I think after Davison won the championship, I put you as the 5th greatest flyweight in UFC history. And dude, I'm telling you, I haven't got that much trolling back from me. And I was like, people were throwing out all these names, and they were like, Alex Perez is 5th. And I'm like, look at who Alex beat. Like, you beat 6 through 9, you can say all-time flyweights. It hasn't been around forever, and I think you're one fight away from the championship. We know Mighty Mouse was controlling that division for a long, long time, so there really isn't. We got Joe, who's a top guy, and I'll take the troll, and that's fine, especially with a good guy like yourself. But, what do you think of being a top 5 flyweight in its history of the organization?
I think it's pretty cool, man. Like I said, it's just the divisions, it was brought in and then kind of wiped out and brought back in. So it's kind of new.
Right.
But I think I've beat quality guys. I mean, I've only lost one time to Benavidez. And, if you look at my resume since I stepped into UFC, I've beat top guys in the flyweight division. I've stopped top guys in the flyweight division. And, yeah, I feel like at the end when I'm done, I can say I'm one of the best flyweights, that the UFC has signed for sure.
Definitely. Like I said, it's like you beat those guys people were arguing. I was like, Alex beat him, 14 months ago, 3 years ago. So, hey, it is what it is. I'll take the troll, and that's fine with me. But, man, I'm loving the UFC lately. Last time we tried to talk, you were actually at Fight Island. So, first and foremost, how was Fight Island? How was you? How was the whole experience of being at Fight Island?
It was cool, man. I give this the UFC. The staff was awesome. I mean, it had to adjust to a little bit different times, but it was awesome. The people at the hotel were amazing. I mean, the service was great. You can't beat it. It was definitely a different experience. You know what I mean? Because we fought over there at 4 a.m. I believe. So
right.
So that was the only thing. We tried to stay on California time, so I was going to bed around 12 noon. That's maybe 1 a.m. over here. Try to stay around
right
close as you can, but it was kind of tough. But jet lag didn't hit too bad. It was definitely interesting. The way they had the venue. I mean, they had every health precaution that you can think of.
Right.
As soon as we were in the room getting ready to warm up before we walked out. Then on the other side, the person that walked out, 2 minutes later, someone came in. They disinfected the whole area, chair to mats to everything. It was definitely interesting.
That's crazy, man. So yeah, we're hopefully on the way out of this, pandemic. The world is starting to get back into it. But UFC, mixed martial arts, and especially UFC, has been incredible with Fight Island, the Jacksonville shows. Now the Apex is taking over. How is it just to kind of be a part of the awesome trajectory of MMA and especially UFC? I think no other sport has taken this negative and turned it into a positive. How's the part you fought in it? Looks like you're going to fight on the outside of it. UFC 255 is looking like a stacked card. How do you feel to just be a part of the organization?
I feel good, man. First, I'm just thankful to have a job, being able to work and this hard time,
Right.
I know a lot of fighters right now that are on the local scene aren't getting opportunities. I mean, there's not that many shows going on right now due to pandemic, you know. So I'm just grateful to be a part of, one, be making history fighting during this time, and two, um, just being able to have a job and put money in my pocket and food on my table, man. I know a lot of people out there struggling for it, so super grateful for the opportunity.
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of big fights coming up, and we'll kind of wrap it up with this. Alex, man, appreciate your time like always. We got the Habib Gaethje. We got some big female fights. We got the middleweight championship on the line. Of course, we got Cody going down to flyweight to fight Davidson. Is there a fight or two you're definitely like, oh, I cannot wait? The fan in me, I cannot wait for this fight.
Well, the fan of me wants to say Gaethje and Khabib. That's gonna be
Yeah.
very interesting. People, oh well, Gaethje just punches. Well, he's a really good wrestler. NCAA All American. It's not easy to do. So that one, and obviously, I want to see Cody versus Davidson. One, because one, I want to see if Cody can make the weight, and two, I want to see how he holds up. You know what I mean? I just think he's running for people on 35s. That's the only reason you would come down if you can't compete at your weight class. That's why I feel like he's just cutting down just because he can't compete with those top guys anymore, which is fine. But don't make an excuse that you're gonna run both divisions. Like, you're gonna run both divisions, but you're 1-3 in your last 4 fights. It makes no sense.
Right.
It wasn't like he just got. It wasn't like it was split decision losses where he's like, okay, he still compete. I mean, he got knocked out. So, I mean, that's the only 2 fights I really want to see is Khabib, Gaethje, and then obviously Garbrandt versus Davidson.
Right. And did the UFC, have they contacted you about, I think there's a legit reason why you and Brandon are on that card, right? Is there any kind of talk of something happens to Cody, one of you guys have the higher leg to kind of slip into that title fight?
Yeah, I'm guessing it'll be Moreno since he's ranked above me.
Right.
Which is fine. People think being the backup is like, oh yeah, you're a backup. It's kind of harder than what it looks, because you got to worry about, like, if you're not fighting, you got to worry about 2 different guys. But if you're fighting on the same card, you got to worry about 3 different guys, 3 different matchups. It's a lot to take in. Even if it's a long 6-month camp, it's still that much. You got to worry about 3 people.
Right.
You got to worry about 3 different strengths, 3 different weaknesses, things like that. So, I'm pretty sure it's Brandon, but my time will come.
For sure. It will, man. Man, we're so happy to talk to you, Alex. We appreciate your time. Last thing with Brandon Moreno, UFC 255. Are you just trying to get a W, you think you're going to move on to the next spot? Or is it something exciting? If you think you got something first round, something quick, something massive, do you think that will even help ignite it? Or you think a win is a win and just moving up, it's so high, it's hard to get those wins. We just saw Frankie and Pedro went to war, so razor sharp. It's hard to get those top-notch wins.
Yeah, I just think a win, obviously a win's the key, what I'm going for. But if it comes knockout or whatever, I don't think it really matters. I just think that means it puts me in line, because technically I would beat the number 2 guy. When I beat him, I would beat the number 2 guy, So, I mean, there's no higher place to go. I'm guessing that Joe's probably going to do 1 more fight, maybe 1-2 more fights, go out on a winning note. So
right.
They're not going to put us against each other to fight for number 1 contender. So, I mean, yeah, I think 1 win gets it done.
I think so too, man. I do. Guys, Alex Perez, number 4 UFC flyweight, 1 away from probably fighting for the title. UFC 255 in November. Alex, man, appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome, brother. Talk to you soon.